Hello, welcome, my students, girls and boys. As you know, we are running through a very difficult situation due to the outbreak of COVID 19. As you know, you are all have been promoted to class 12. It is not possible for us to meet you face to face and to begin our classes, but still, with the help of some technology, we would like to go forward. Now, I wish to begin the first poem of your syllabus of class 12. As I have told you in the group, a few activities have been given, and I have told you not to attempt the question, for I want to teach you the text first. So let's begin. On Killing a Tree by Jeev Patel. All of you have got this book. It is the same book of class 11. Now you students, please open page number 61. On Killing a Tree. Put headphone or on your speaker. Listen to my every word very carefully. Go through the text again and again. And if you feel any difficulty, post your question regarding any vocabulary or any expression or anything. Now let's begin the poem on killing a tree. Before beginning or coming to the text, now see the attributes, a few technicalities of the poem. First, the poem is a nature poem or an eco poem. It conveys the message that trees are living beings. It has strong survival instincts. What do you understand by survival instincts? Survival instincts means it can be felt by any living beings. That means desire to live. If we think that trees are inanimate object, it's our wrong conception. It has its own feelings, it can respond, and it has its own zest for life. It can withstand any type of assault, trauma, or crisis. Withstand means resist. If you want to hurt a tree, it will rebuff, it will resist, it will withstand against any type of assault, trauma, or crisis. Next, it is not easy to kill them due to their never say die attitude to life. That means it's not easy to kill a tree with the one go of a knife. There are two stages of killing a tree. First, the tree should be pulled out entirely. Its roots are to be exposed to the sun and the air. Secondly, the roots are to be scorched in the sun. This poem has a few literary devices. Generally, we find a poem is very rhythmic. But here, no rhyme scheme has been followed. Since it is a modern poem, it is written in free verse. Look at this expression, free verse. That means no rhyme scheme has been followed here. It has enjambment. What do you understand by enjambment? When I will come to the text, I will show you what enjambment means. Actually, the definition of enjambment is if a single sentence runs into two or more lines, it is called enjambment. And finally, it has several metaphorical usages like alliteration, metaphors. That means the language is very ornamental. Now come to the text on killing a tree, page number 61. Hope you have all got your text before you. Now let's begin. Come to the first sentence. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. See, here we do not know who is being killed, who is the killer, what's the matter is all about. Abruptly, the readers are taken into a scene of a crime. That means we are beginning the poem with a shock. This shocking experience, the poet deliberately puts to bring the readers into awareness. If they are lethargic, if they are indifferent to the pangs of the trees, considering it to be inanimate objects, the readers are shaken back, they are taken to their senses, and we are reminded that killing is as much heinous a crime as killing a human being. It takes much time to kill a tree, not a simple jab of the knife will do it. As I have told you, enjambment, this word. See, a single sentence. It takes much time to kill a tree, not a simple jab of the knife will do it. A single sentence is running into 2.5 lines. That is enjambment. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth. Consuming means it has taken sustenance from earth. It has taken nourishment from Mother Earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust. Crust means the uppermost layer of the earth, soil, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide sprouting leaves. The tree is not a baby tree, it is a full grown tree. It has absorbed years of sunlight, air, and water. Out of its leprous hide, hide means bark. Here, this is a metaphorical use. Leprous means the word comes from leprosy. The uneven, unsmooth bark of the tree is here being compared with the skin of a leprosy patient. From this leprous hide, from this uneven bark, new leaves, sprouting leaves are coming out. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. These two words are very important, hacking and chopping. These two words make us aware that killing a tree is very difficult. You need to hack and chop. A simple go of a knife, one go of a knife or a jab of a knife won't do it. Won't. This is a colloquial, a spoken term, speaking term, where the poet is speaking in a very normal sentences. The lines are not at all poetical in the true sense. Won't is the won't is coming from will not, but this alone will not or would not do it. Not so much pain will do it, the bleeding bark will heal. Does it bleed? No. Our simple answer is no, but it bleeds. Blood oozes out from its bark. Here, by putting this word bleeding, the poet wants to make us aware that a tree also feels pain, the tree also bleeds. So if we hack, if we chop, if we jab with a knife, the tree will also feel the same feelings, the same pain, the same agony that a human being feels. Next page. And from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs. Green twigs, that means a sapling. A miniature boughs means which promises a future big tree, which if unchecked will expand again to its former size. If you do not cut repeatedly, if you do not uproot the tree, it will again grow up, it will again take its former size. No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. Anchoring earth. Anchor is a word, it is an instrument which is used to keep a ship or a boat tightly. It holds tightly with the earth in a sea or in a river. Anchoring earth, here it implies the roots of a tree are like anchors. It tightly holds the soil and puts the tree erect. It is to be roped, tied, and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely. The tree is to be uprooted out from the earth cave, from the earth chasm, where lies the strength of the earth. So now a human being is able to expose the strength of the tree. And the strength of the tree exposed, the source, white and wet, the most sensitive, hidden. For years inside the earth, then the matter of scorching and choking. After the tree is uprooted entirely from the earth chasm, its sense, its strength is exposed. For years inside the earth, it was there, the tree was there, but again, it cannot take its sustenance from the Mother Earth. Scorching and choking, these two words again are very important. Scorching means perhaps the tree is feeling thirsty. Still, it is not getting any water. It is getting scorched into the blazing sun. Choking, the tree is uprooted. Slowly, it is dying. It is getting suffocated due to lack of air. In sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. Browning, it is becoming death pale. It is getting hard. It is twisting, writhing in pain, and then it is done. The entire matter of killing a tree is over. So I hope you have all understood the poem. You again and again go through the poem. It is written in a very lucid language. If you feel any difficulty in understanding any expression or any vocabulary, you must post your question. I will give you a few questions apart from the activities of second term that has been already given. You must write your answers in separate sheet with your names and roll numbers, and you should submit your answer scripts once your school is open. Be safe, stay at home. We hope to meet you very soon. Thank you.